Haven't heard that for a while. Shovels clearing away snowfall that lasted into today.
We'll show you the mess it caused this morning.
Stepping down, Senator Bill Kittner says he'll leave the legislature next week.
And more trouble for a former OPS teacher caught in a child sex abuse investigation.
Live from 7 Burlington Station, this is Omaha's news leader. KETV NewsWatch 7 at 5.
About 8 o'clock, it was getting slick. I saw a guy just roll right through the red light and hit a bumper, someone's bumper, And
Last week it was the ice. This week it's snow.
We knew it was coming. Wednesday morning, commuters giving themselves a little extra time on the roads this morning.
Live outside right now, the snow has stopped, but cold temps mean it will be with us for a while.
Road crews kept the main streets from getting snow covered, but those side streets posed problems once again.
Weather Now meteorologist Sean Everson reports.
City trucks go up and down the streets in northwest Omaha early Wednesday morning as wet weather turns into snow. As the morning rush begins, traffic slows down near 168th and Maple. Roads become covered and visibility drops.
I noticed that there was a truck off to the side of the road this morning, and just like me, everybody's going really slow and taking their time to get where they need to go.
The intensifying snow and wind making it difficult for drivers like Cheryl Longacre.
Heading out the driveway even, you had to watch the street just to make sure you didn't slide into somebody, but it was okay until I got to a hill and started up a hill and ended up having to go back down.
Longacre not the only one with those troubles. Other cars getting stuck as well throughout the city. Having a hard time maneuvering up and down slick neighborhood hills.
main roads are good. Side streets are kind of slick and hard to get up hills and stuff with these rear-wheel drive vans.
Before filling up, Scott Mitchell witnessed a fender bender on his way to work.
By about 8 o'clock, it was getting slick. I saw a guy just roll right through the red light and hit a bumper, someone's bumper.
Even as the snow started to taper off later in the morning, the flow of traffic still a little bit slower.
I just stay a good distance behind, a couple van lengths behind vehicles and just try to take it slow.
Reporting in Omaha, Sean Everson, KETV NewsWatch 7.
All right, Sean, thanks. And we join Chief Meteorologist Bill Ranby now in the Weather Center. We got a nice amount of snow here, but Bill, some areas up north got a lot more than us.
Oh, yeah. Northeast Nebraska, some spots had over a foot of snow. Wow. Nothing like that in our viewing area. And there's still a couple flurries around. That's Super Doppler 7 radar. Where there's light blue, that's very light snow. The white is just a stray flurry or two. Downtown, we still have some flurries. You can't really see them here. That's 10th Street there. You can see that northwest breeze, the camera there at the Embassy Suites downtown. Epley Airfield reporting flurries and 29 degrees now at this hour. Temperatures are starting to drop as the sun sets here over the next hour and the northwest wind blows. These cooler temperatures will filter back down across the Omaha metro. It did help that even though it was cloudy, the sun just did a little work on melting. This was the forecast we had for you the last couple of days. 1 to 3 inches across the metro, heavier snows up north and around the Omaha metro. Had a report of 3 in Millard, 2.2 at Offutt, 1.3 Lincoln. That includes last evening snow and today's snow. Valley says 1.7, Epley 1.9, bit over 3 up in Blair. This evening, we'll still have some flurries around 7, 8, 9. Look at the temperature sliding 28, 27, 26 by 11 o'clock. The cold northwest wind that'll make it feel even worse. We'll have more on when we might see a warming trend in my 7-day later on.
All right, thanks, Bill. Well, Fremont's Public Services Superintendent tells us tonight the city is under a snow emergency for a few more hours. It ends this evening at 8 o'clock. We also want to show you what road conditions are like across the area at this hour. First, Nebraska's 511 site. You don't have to go too far north to find those slick spots. Iowa's Department of Roads site shows problems mostly in the northwest corner of the state. As always, remember to slow down, take it easy if you're headed out on the roads tonight.
Now to embattled Nebraska State Senator Bill Kittner. He says he's going to resign from the legislature rather than face expulsion. And Governor Ricketts is already looking for applicants to fill his seat. Kittner handed his resignation letter to the Speaker of the legislature Wednesday morning. It'll take effect on Monday. The lawmaker from Papillion says his heart wants to fight, but his head says it's time to step down.
I hesitate to resign as I know that my resignation will be hailed as a victory to the progressive liberal movement. But this is not about justice or doing what's right. This is the old adage that might makes right.
Tuesday, a number of lawmakers condemned Kittner's behavior involving a post mocking women at a rally and his cybersex scandal using a state computer. At 6, reaction from fellow lawmakers about Kittner's decision.
All right, Daryl Clark, the former Omaha middle school teacher, will stand trial for another case of sexual assault.
We first told you about the allegations dating back to 2005. KETV NewsWatch 7's Michelle Bandur is live with this new story at 5. Michelle?
David, Alexandra, the alleged victim was 11 back in 2005 when Daryl Clark was a teacher at Beveridge Middle School. She went to police then, and investigators said there wasn't enough to pursue the case. Today, a judge ruled otherwise. Daryl Clark, who is 46, already bound over for trial in a separate case. He's accused of having sex with a 15-year-old girl. Police arrested him at Monroe Middle School last November. Now, that's when Bryn Sampson contacted KETV NewsWatch 7. She says as a 7th grader, her math tutoring sessions with Clark progressed from sexual conversations to kissing and touching. She reported him to the school and thought he was fired.
In my eyes, being 11, I thought if I told the principal what happened, the police what happened, and my parents what happened, and I was honest that that was enough.
I'll rely on the fact that this was flushed out 12 years ago as unfounded, and hopefully the same will take place here in 2017.
In a statement, Omaha Public School District spokesperson Monique Farmer tells us, OPD informed us that they did not have enough evidence to move forward with criminal charges. OPS conducted its own internal investigation as well and did not have enough information to recommend termination of employment following the investigation. Now, the district did put Clark on administrative leave after his November arrest, and he has since been fired. His trial has not been set. It may not be until late spring. Back to you.
All right, Michelle, thank you. A judge sets bond at $75,000 for the woman accused of driving drunk and hitting a car nearly head-on. 23-year-old Samantha Robertson crossed the median near 168th and Pacific early Sunday morning. Prosecutors say the UNO student was drinking on a party bus before the crash. 17-year-old Haley Smolsky was in the car Robertson hit. She's recovering at the hospital.
The city street worker hit by a car while fixing potholes Monday remains in critical condition tonight. 48-year-old Salvatore Fedoni III is at Nebraska Medicine with a head injury. Police say the driver, 53-year-old Alan Solarana, drifted over the center lane. No word if he'll face charges.
Police in Nevada identify an Omaha man found dead 2 weeks after the discovery of an abandoned rental car. A group of people stumbled upon 24-year-old Matthew Legino's body in a creek near Elko, Nevada 1 week ago. Coroners identified him by a tattoo. An autopsy will determine how he died. Council Bluffs school board members could decide to close Crescent Elementary at the end of this year because of declining enrollment. They'll hear a presentation on the matter next month. Superintendent Martha Bruckner says the school is too small and only half full. Students and teachers would move to Lewis and Clark Elementary in Council Bluffs if the district decides to close that school.
Well, another person is throwing his name in to become Omaha's next mayor. Karate studio owner Christopher Geary is a Marine Corps veteran and an independent. He says he wants to create jobs and support economic growth within the city. Geary joins Democratic State Senator Heath Mello and certified public accountant Taylor Royal in taking on current Omaha Mayor Gene Stothert. Both Stothert and Royal are Republicans.
Who can turn the world on with her smile?
She helped define American womanhood in the 60s and 70s. Today, we lost actress Mary Tyler Moore. Still ahead at 5, a look back at the life of a legend.
Plus, President Trump takes executive action on immigration. Details on the plan for a border wall. Right now, though, we'll look at rush hour traffic near 90th and Dodge.
You're watching Omaha's news leader, KETV NewsWatch 7, with David Earl, Melissa Fry, and your Weather Now forecast with Chief Meteorologist Bill Randby. Live from 7 Burlington Station, this is KETV NewsWatch 7 at 5.
Another record-setting day on Wall Street. For the first time in history, the Dow Jones Industrial Average closed above the 20,000 mark. Banks and other financial companies led the rally. The Nasdaq also added 55 points. The S&P 500 rose 18.
Happening in Washington today, President Trump signs his first actions on immigration, which, among other things, includes Sarah's Law, named after Sarah Root, who was killed by a drunk driver in the country illegally.
The measure also calls for building a wall along the U.S. border with Mexico. The president claims Mexico will eventually pay for it.
Aixa Diaz has the story, part of our first 100 days coverage.
David Alexandra, the White House says building a wall is a common sense first step to securing the border. President Trump signs an executive order paving the way for a border wall between the U.S. and Mexico.
The Secretary of Homeland Security, working with myself and my staff, will begin immediate construction of a border wall.
In President Trump's first interview on ABC News, he says Mexico will ultimately foot the bill, but the U.S. will pay for the wall first.
All it is we'll be reimbursed at a later date from whatever transaction we make. What I'm doing is good for the United States. It's also going to be good for Mexico. We want to have a very stable, very solid Mexico.
Democrats on Capitol Hill are criticizing the president's move.
This is another divisive policy. It is another polarizing policy.
President Trump also signed an executive order stripping federal funding for so-called sanctuary cities in the U.S. that protect undocumented immigrants.
There's a taxpayer issue here. You know, you've got the American people out there working and then having their money sent to places where folks that aren't in this country legally are getting sent to cities that are therefore using their tax dollars.
If they start spending all of this money on walls, on going after sanctuary cities, then we are going to be taking money away from real national security.
The Mexican president, who has said Mexico will not pay for the wall, is coming here to Washington next week to meet with President Trump. The White House says the two will discuss the wall and trade, specifically NAFTA. At the White House, Aixa Diaz, KETV NewsWatch 7.
ABC News anchor David Muir got the exclusive first interview with President Trump. That special airs right here on KETV tonight at 9 o'clock.
The two also talked about alleged voter fraud in the November election. Today, President Trump ordered an investigation reviving an unsubstantiated claim he made during the campaign that the system is rigged.
Calling for a massive investigation when there's no basis for it is dangerous. It's not productive. It's a distraction.
I think in terms of registration, where you've got folks on rolls that have been deceased or moved or registered in two counties, this isn't just about the 26 election. This is about the integrity of our voting system.
The 2012 Pew study cited by the White House as backing up the president's claim found millions of out-of-date registration records, but no evidence it resulted in fraud. We go to Philadelphia at 5, where a massive sinkhole threatens homes in one neighborhood. Take a look at this. A car and a tree fell in, another white pickup dangling there on the edge. Right now, crews are securing the scene in case the sinkhole gets any bigger. Thankfully, though, no one has been injured. Crazy video.
I'd just like to wake up to that, right?
Ooh, man.
I did like to wake up to snow today, Bill.
I know. Wasn't it fun?
So nice.
Of course, you slept in. You saw a lot of snow by the time you woke up. Most folks, when they got up at 6, 7 o'clock this morning, there was just a little bit we had last night, but it kept on snowing this morning, and the result, 2-3 inches of snow around Omaha. Much more to the north of us. Well, I'm going to give it a 4 for the Ramby factor this evening, but I must say it is extremely satisfying shoveling a snow like this because you get out there, you shovel, and it's clean when you're done. I mean, the ground was warm enough that still a little bit melting from underneath, and so a perfect cleanup kind of snow. So get out and shovel. Here this evening, still a couple of flurries around, the breeze out of the northwest, and temperatures dropping. By late tonight, if you don't get stuff shoveled up, things will start to kind of ice up and freeze, so you want to clear off the walkway. This is live Super Doppler 7 radar. Still some patches of flurries and light snow around. All this is really, really light stuff and not really accumulating much. Still a winter weather advisory northwest of Des Moines. Winter storm warning yet for Carroll, Iowa, and northward into north central Iowa, but the system winding down, move it out. There was a little spot up here in Cedar County, northeast Nebraska, where snow totals exceeded a foot. Same thing around Mason City in Iowa, and then up into northeast Iowa and southern Wisconsin, the snow today. This evening, temperatures sliding slowly in the upper 20s with the flurries through 11 and cloudy overnight. There's downtown 10th Street. Looks pretty good for traffic. There's a car driving along on it. 29 temperature, northwest wind 21 miles an hour. That creates a wind chill down in the teens, and we'll have a wind chill of around 10 tomorrow morning. It was 33 just after midnight, 29 the current temperature. The low in Epley Airfield says just 0.05 of an inch of liquid. But as far as the amount of snow, Epley Airfield says 1.9 from last night and today. Norfolk, Nebraska, 8.5. Little Sioux, about half of that. Atlantic, Iowa, 3.8. Valley, 1.7. Here at the station, had a hard time really accumulating this afternoon and this morning. So just 1.6, 0.6 last night, 1 inch during the day today. 22 in Norfolk, 30 degrees right now in Shenandoah and Red Oak and Creston in Iowa. Storms moving out. Northwest breezes continue. The clouds, the flurries. 11 o'clock tonight, 8 a.m. tomorrow. Not much changes. Still mostly cloudy. The northwest breeze through the day. We may get some peaks of sun. I think there'll probably be a couple of flurries in the clouds as well. But the thing you're going to notice, the breeze from the northwest, cold temperatures. Flurries come to an end this evening and tonight. 22 for the low, 23 at 8 a.m. The northwest wind creates a wind chill of 10 above tomorrow. Watch out for a couple of icy patches around, especially walkways, parking lots tomorrow. 29 in the afternoon. Maybe a stray flurry pops up again in the afternoon. A little bit more sun on Friday and Saturday, although we probably get a couple of snow showers Saturday evening and Saturday night as the next little disturbance rides down the jet stream. But a general warming trend the weekend into early next week. And no big storm systems to talk about now, but this was a pretty decent one. And I think most folks that wanted some snow were happy with what we have.
Yeah, no kidding. Thanks, Bill.
Well, time now for a few of your snow photos. As always, when the flakes started flying, you helped us tell the weather story.
Check out this snow-covered trampoline, a pretty cool shot here. Lots of snow. And look at how much they got in Trainer, Iowa. Wow, more than here in the metro, it seems. Finally, we thought this was a cute shot from Columbus, Nebraska. The viewer who sent it in said her husband had a little fun playing in the snow. Oh, love.
Great. The world lost another Hollywood icon today. Next at 5, the life of Mary Tyler Moore.
Then new at 6, cleaning up all those cars, the snow causing delays for some of the sweet rides at this year's Omaha Auto Show. We'll take you inside the CenturyLink Center before the doors open for the public tomorrow. Live from 7 Burlington Station, this is KETV NewsWatch 7 at 5. Tonight, we're saying goodbye to an American Idol.
Mary Tyler Moore died today at age 80, surrounded by her husband and friends. The actress, producer, and diabetes advocate changed the landscape of television and became a role model for a generation of women.
ABC's Elizabeth Herr on Mary Tyler Moore's legacy.
Working here in the newsroom. Associate producer, can you believe that?
Mary Tyler Moore inspired single women everywhere to follow their dreams as memorable Minneapolis news producer Mary Richards on The Mary Tyler Moore Show.
You got spunk.
Well,
born in Brooklyn, New York, an aspiring dancer, she soon starred in dozens of commercials, which led to several television appearances. Then in the 1960s, Carl Reiner cast her as Laura Petrie on The Dick Van Dyke Show.
don't play innocent with me, Rob. You found it and you opened it, didn't you?
Moore's comedic energy lit up the screen and a star was born. Her success continued in the 70s with The Mary Tyler Moore Show, where, along with her sidekick Rhoda, Moore showed single working women could have it all. With 7 Emmy Awards and 3 Golden Globes on the shelf, Moore was also nominated for a Best Actress Oscar for her role in the 1980s film Ordinary People. In her memoir, After All, Moore acknowledged she was a recovering alcoholic. She also publicly discussed her struggle with diabetes, spending many years raising money to fund medical research. After more than 50 years on television and in films, her memory continues to inspire. Elizabeth Herr, ABC News, New York.
And MeTV Omaha will air a special tribute to Mary Tyler Moore this weekend. 6 iconic episodes, including Chuckles Bites the Dust and The Dinner Party, airing back-to-back starting at 1 Saturday afternoon. You can find MeTV Omaha over the air on 7.2, Cox Channel 123, and CenturyLink Channel 8. So how did you sleep last night?
Well, if you're like a lot of us, you didn't get as much rest as you would have liked to. What's considered a good night's sleep? Well, according to the National Sleep Foundation, there are 3 signs. First, that you're out within 30 minutes of getting in bed. Second, you don't wake up more than once a night. And third, if you do wake up, you fall back to sleep in 20 minutes or less.
So what should you do if you're not getting the sleep you need? You could try eating these foods right before bed. Nuts, fruits like kiwi, which can help if you battle insomnia. Also, tea or warm milk all contain melatonin, which regulates your sleep cycle and helps you rest more soundly.
Scary moments for a California woman taking her driving test last week. Police say a pickup's driver ran a red light and slammed into her just outside of the DMV parking lot. The crash sent the pickup airborne into other parked cars. Investigators reported only minor injuries. No word, though, if the woman passed her driving test. More trouble on the road, this time in Louisiana. Drivers call police after seeing a truck swerving in and out of lanes. Seconds later, the truck slams into the back of a state trooper parked on the side of the road. Only minor injuries here, but that truck's driver went to jail for DWI.
Like a scene from a movie, police save a man from a burning truck seconds before it explodes.
Come on. We're here to save you, man. We're here to save you. Come on. Let's go. Come on. Keep going. Keep going. We got it.
Absolutely incredible video. It's all caught on the officer's body camera. The two officers were able to pull the 60-year-old man down the road about 50 yards right before that explosion. That man survived and is at home tonight. All right, well, Bill is back after the break with his updated weather forecast for you.
More complete coverage. This is KETV NewsWatch 7 at 5.
Rush hour traffic tonight. This view at Highway 370 looking east from the Sac Federal Credit Union at 72nd Street in Papillion. A pretty view of all the snow and cars moving right along tonight.
Looks wonderful out there. Julie Cornell is here with a look ahead to our 6 o'clock newscast.
And we're revisiting a fiery scene from last year. You might remember the flames that tore through this Omaha funeral home. Well, tonight, on the eve of the anniversary, we're talking with the owner about efforts to move on and rebuild the business.
I was out there that morning for that. It's good to see them moving forward.
Things looking good weather-wise the next several days, moderating temperatures into the weekend. But right now, a couple of flurries around. Temperatures are dropping, and it's time for you to get up and shovel off that walkway, the driveway. Do the neighbors while you're at it. Well, do mine too. 29 tomorrow, breezy and cold for Thursday.
Bill, thanks. That's our report at 5. Thank you for being here with us.
We're back in 30 minutes with more local news. Now, World News Tonight.